out across our region, and we were coming to you from Elmore County Technical Center. And today we just finished up with an Auburn Training Connection meeting and touring the new, can't remember all the acronyms, Advanced Manufacturing Training Center. And you'll be hearing more about that coming soon this summer, and we would love to have you all over here to see it. But many thanks to Amy Brabham, Director of Workforce, and her entire team for letting us kind of crash in the conference room today. And and we're having to get used to technology. But they have some great technology here, and so you have our whole team on today. First, I'm going to ask if Jennifer Lohman, our chair, is on. Jennifer, are you? I'm looking. Well, in the meantime, she is probably joining right now, but I want to take a moment and introduce you to the newest team member of Central Alabama Works. Her name is Amy Owens, and she's waving there if you can see her. And she is coming, has come to us. Monday was her first day, and we're so excited to have her. She's been working in the healthcare arena, and she will take on the role of Business and Industry Relations Manager. So we're thrilled to have her already, trial by fire this week, and having a great time. So moving on, Jennifer, if you join, and well, she's not going to hear me if she joins, so we'll keep looking for her. But I want to go ahead into our agenda. We've got great things to share with you today. I'm going to do a real quick overview of a real quick director's report just to kind of update you on what's happening, what's going on in our world, and the things that you need to know about. Let us share our slides. Many thanks to Sabrina for doing this today. I feel like I am hands-free without having to share anything, except when the screen goes out like that. You can click on. Well, actually, let me go back, and in the absence of Jennifer being on, I want to call the meeting to order. We'll at least have that, so that can be reflected in our minutes today. Last month, it wasn't last month, our last RWC meeting, I shared with you all our 2021 goals for this year for Central Alabama Works. We're divided up into 6 categories, and these categories were reflected in our strategic plan. So this was the easiest way that I knew to kind of express, what we wanted to achieve across the board this year. And so I decided just to pull that back up and update you on what has happened since our last meeting, which was January? January, correct. So we're now at the end of first quarter of 2021. As far as business and industry, you can see some of our goals were our industry sector meetings. We wanted to beef those up, to have more, as well as enhance customer service and working with the Alabama Workforce Stabilization Program. Happy to say we have addressed all 3 of those. Manufacturing, healthcare, and construction will all meet in April. We will be finalizing that date, but we're trying something new and going to have them meet back to back to back, really focusing on that idea of enhanced customer service. We have our needs assessment survey out there, and business partners, if you were on this call and you have not been a part of that, had time to complete that, I urge you to go to our website and complete 10 questions very quick. But that really helps us not only in knowing how to respond to your needs, but also in our upcoming grant cycle. And we're going to talk about that at our industry sector meetings in April. How to Get What You Want is an easy title for those, but we're going to be talking through that. And then, of course, today we're excited to have Jessica Dent, who's here to talk about the Alabama Workforce Stabilization Program, and you'll learn more about that in just a little bit. In terms of education and students, I'll be updating you on career discovery after Jessica's presentation. We have added resources to our website. We've updated the website, and we're headed toward the launch of our virtual platform on April 19th. Very excited about it. A lot of good things going on there. Over in our post-high school workforce, I'll call it, we're currently planning 2 hiring events with area companies. And we've also done some nonprofit outreach, reaching out to our family resource centers, talking with them and trying to find out how we might partner better and serve more people. As on to our other partners, which there are many, ACCS workforce meetings. We had a first quarter meeting where we met with the workforce directors or deans of each of our community colleges, as well as the adult ed directors. And I think there's a lot of exciting things going on, a lot of exciting collaboration too in the works, and look forward to hearing more about that or sharing more about that in the future. And then finally, in the area of marketing, we've been talking about success stories for a good while. And success stories are, could be out of high school or out of community college or from the real world, as I call it. But we have been able, actually, Sabrina Wood has been able to pull together some great success stories that are now housed on our Career Discovery website. And these are students that have taken CTE courses, that have helped kind of guide their pathway and where they are now. And we hope that our younger students will be able to really relate with that. The other thing we're very proud of is something called the Top 5 in 5 Digital Guide. And I'll be talking more about that when I discuss Career Discovery. But it is highlighting our top 5 industries, as well as a video highlighting a success story within that industry. The next slide, when it comes, here we go. Just a little reminder about our upcoming dates that you need to write down if you don't have written already. That is the industry sector meetings. I say write down the dates, but it's TBA, but know that we will have those meeting dates to you very soon. I would imagine it's going to be later April, and we'll let you know, if not before, then in the April newsletter. Again, we'll be discussing how to get what you need and our needs assessment and our grants process. I just want to mention our healthcare sector meeting that met February 11th. We discussed the medication aid certified. A lot of great information was shared in that meeting. Christy DeGraffenreid from the Alabama Association of Nursing Homes was on and shared a lot about how that has gone through, been approved by the Board of Nursing, just the various, we have many of our community colleges that are starting that program or using that program in different ways. If you are in healthcare, if you're one of our healthcare partners and you were not at that meeting, I would urge you to watch the recording. I think there would be some information that you would find valuable. Moving on to our leadership training, I want you to know that March 23rd and 24th, there will be a Leadership 1 class again. If you need information or would like to sign up, please contact Sabrina Wood, and you can do that through our website if you don't have her address, or give me a call, or have her reach out to any one of our team. Also, our Educator Workforce Academy. We began our 3rd cohort this week. We have a great group representing 6 or 7 counties. I think around that count, but they were a dynamic group. Also had some representatives from the Alabama State Department of Education, and so really diverse conversations. It was really got off to a great start this week. I want to remind you too, this is a great opportunity for business and industry to connect. Part of what we do, of course, is work with business and industry, and then on the other side, we're working with education, but the sweet spot is there in the middle when we get the two to connect and to communicate. So this is a great time that we look to business and industry to talk about your business, what you need, what you're looking for in employees, and really a good opportunity for you to connect to a high school, to a community college, really to get your foot in the door if you haven't done that. So I encourage you, if you'd like to be a part of that, please reach out to me and I'll be sure to set you up in there somehow, get you connected. All right, well, that is the very quick, by the way, I'll let you know we're going to be out by 2 today. So that is our goal, is to get you in and out in an hour, but hopefully to find something that you will learn that will be new and exciting and helpful to you today. So up next, as I consult, is our guest speaker today. Jessica Dent is the Alabama Workforce Stabilization Program Director. Did I say that correctly? I think I got it all. We are a little bit dyslexic in our office, and I turned AWSP into WASP. So you are now formally known as WASP. It's easier to remember than AWSP. But
Well,
Jessica, we're so
go ahead.
happy to have her. And Jessica, of course, is a part of Commerce and has served in Commerce in various roles. And delighted that she is part of this program because I know it will be run, it will be structured and will be organized and will be done well. So Jessica, we're delighted to have you here today and to share with us a little more about the program.
All right. Well, just to help you out, those of you that are dyslexic at the Central, and Jill's going to be happy. I'm going to do this. Just think of it this way. Oh, snap. Look what Alabama's doing now. AWSP. So there you go. There's a way to remember the acronym. I'm super excited to be here today. I do have a presentation for you. But I also have hot off the presses a brand new video that I just got permission like 10 minutes ago to share with y'all. So I'm going to start it off with that. Um, but just to give you a little 411 for those of you that don't know the program, the stabilization program was awarded to the state to provide an innovative opportunity to help transition our evolving workforce as a result of COVID-19, to help individuals return to the workforce, help new workers that have experienced significant barriers return to the workforce, and to help grow that pipeline for the underemployed and the low wage workers to develop a sustainable employment and career pathway. So that's the overall goal. So with that, I'm going to share the video, and then we'll get into the details of the program. I think that's it. Oh, that's not it. Sorry. Try it again. Well, have I shared my screen yet?
You've shared it, but we're not seeing anything yet.
Oh,
It's a gray screen.
okay. Ah, there we go. Do you see it now?
Not yet. You might try to close it out and open it again. Or stop sharing. Or stop sharing and reshare. Sometimes
Ah,
that'll work.
okay. It says okay. Stop sharing. There we go. No. Okay. Well, we're gonna try to I'm gonna figure that out before we leave here today.
It's there.
Okay, we've got your,
PowerPoint?
It's there.
Okay.
You might want to make it full screen. There you go. Perfect.
Okay. Well, I can't get the Primo video. We'll try that after I get through with the presentation. Just give you a teaser till then. We'll let you hear the details of our program. Our grant award was $17.8 million through the Department of Education. This was a competitive grant award. We were one of 8 states that were awarded. Our target is to provide those opportunities to over 7,000 participants. And we estimate that that's a little over 200 plus employers. We're looking at business and industry in sectors of healthcare, advanced manufacturing, information technology, transportation, distribution, logistics, and construction. So again, to provide that short term, let me get rid of that. To provide that short term education and training to lead an individual into that career pathway, and then also to help our businesses avoid layoffs, to upskill their current employees, and to develop the pipelines that they need as they grow. Oh, now my clicker's not working. Sorry, I'm having my own technical difficulties here now. So Jindy, you guys are not the only ones. There we go. The overall workforce development strategy was used to develop this application, and the application is actually a very braided funded application. And so with that, what we did was we took the best that we already have in Alabama, Accelerate 2.0, the regional workforce councils, our Alabama community colleges, all with the overall goal of lifting Alabamians out of poverty. Like I said, this was a braided funding application. So what that means is we took the Workforce Investment Board, WIOA funding, the Alabama Workforce Council, the Alabama Community College System, along with Alabama Technology Network and Adult Education, and we're utilizing what we statutorily all do on a daily basis, but enhancing it for an expedited stabilization effort as a result of the pandemic. You know, I don't have to go over the effects of the pandemic, but, you know, between March and August of last year, over 700,000 people were dislocated. Many of those had never been dislocated before. Many of those also saw that they had gotten themselves in a career that might not be sustainable, and there might be a reason to grow and change and look for other opportunities. This grant will provide that opportunity. We're led by the Workforce Development Director at Commerce by Ms. Tammy Wilkinson. I work under Tammy, and as Jindy said, I'll be the project director. Tim McCartney and the Governor's Office of Education and Workforce Transformation were instrumental in the development of this project, combining various um, uh, combining the various projects we had in the works. And then, of course, supported by you guys, the Regional Workforce Council. I'm going to tell you what all y'all have got to do coming up as we go through this presentation. And then we have the training expertise of the Alabama Community College System, ATN, and Adult Education. They are our leading training providers in the state. Getting all these new things popping up on my screen. There we go. So here's how we're organized. Again, the AWC and the GOAT are going to lead the marketing and recruitment efforts. The Alabama Department of Commerce is administration and project management. We're your fiscal agent as well as your awardee. The state has an implementation team that has been meeting over the past few months. That includes the Workforce Investment Board, Regional Workforce Councils, and the Alabama Community College System. And as we've been meeting, we've been creating a symbiosis amongst our processes. One of the things when working with multiple programs and projects, as I'm sure many of you have identified, definitions amongst our various organizations, they're a little bit different here or there. The definition of credential for colleges is different than WIOA. Do you look at terms? Do you look at hours? And so creating a project such as this, we've gone through the past few months creating that unique voice, that one voice that will serve this project. And with that, we've developed some tools along the way. Now, from the state implementation team, you see each region also has a team. Uh, oops. That team, uh, again, is that same makeup as the state implementation team, the Workforce Investment Board, your regional workforce council, and your liaisons. And then, of course, your community college system. Now, for Region 5, just to let you know, you're led by a 3-member panel, which is Aubrey Carter, which is your WIOA board chair, Jennifer Lohman, your regional workforce council representative, and Gary Weaver with Alabama Community College System. These will be your 3-member panels that will oversee the employer request to participate. And then, of course, you guys, those of you leading this meeting, Jindy, Sarah, Sabrina, y'all will be our cheerleaders and our champion and our boots on the ground to make sure we get this sucker implemented. But you'll be supported by James Ramsey and the Alabama Career Center system, the BSRs, as well as some Alabama Community College assistants. So again, you see the WIOA has a participant lead because they historically work for case management, they work with business services, training funds, and then you guys as the Regional Workforce Council, you're our business lead. You're our advocate, you develop industry resources, you coordinate economic development within your region. And again, we have our training leaders. Each region was given a allocation and a set of goals that was determined based off of the WIOA formula allocation. The formula allocation takes into various statistics that are paint a pretty good picture for a region and its needs. Now, this is an estimate and this is an allocation. Each year we will reassess at the end of the year and see where we're spending funds and make adjustments as needed. For Region 5, you see you are scheduled for year 1, 268 participants, which is not too bad. If you break that out by employers, you're looking at maybe 10, 20 employers to reach out to. And as you see, year 2 and 3, the goal grows, and that's because we feel like word will catch on and the buzz on this program will be out and about in the community, and everybody will be a lot more comfortable taking advantage of these discretionary funds because these are CARES Act funds. These are meant to come down and be used to stabilize our workforce. That's the point of these dollars, is to use them expeditiously as quickly as possible to train and upskill and avoid layoffs. So again, I said your region will consist of a 3-member panel that will review the request to participate in this program from an employer. Now, the employer panels are looking at projects that are focused on business recovery, workforce development projects that are, of course, in line with your regional goals, projects that serve your existing workforce and existing businesses. And it can be a consortium. Say you've got a couple of small businesses that all have similar training needs. We can work together to combine those. And then projects I see an error on my slide. Whoops. Projects targeted toward training for those businesses and industries that have been identified in the ACCCP. Now that right there, that was written into the grant. As you all may know, the Alabama credentialing has not rolled out yet. It is coming. Our efforts will be, though, that we include the training that we identify in this project in the ACCCP. And then, of course, we will also provide priority to Alabama small businesses, rural areas, and opportunity zones. Now, that does not mean that we will exclude any business or industry outside of those areas. That just does mean that priority for this grant is those areas. Where there is a need, we will try to accommodate as best we can. We do not anticipate any employer being denied. There is no real denial. If an employer is not ready to participate yet, perhaps they don't know what training they need, perhaps their organization just that the people are not ready. That's okay. We can push them back to the next review cycle and they can be included. Technical assistance will be provided through our partners identified already, community colleges, regional liaisons, you guys, out in the field. Additional partners and of course resources out there are your Department of Labor, your Alabama Career Center system, the Federal Reserve Bank, University of Alabama. The University of Alabama has a component in this project that will roll out later this year that I'm going to introduce you to in just a little bit. And then of course we have our Alabama Office of Apprenticeship, AIDT, and all organized and led through the Governor's Office of Education and Workforce Transformation. Oh, any questions so far about the money and how we're organized? This next slide kind of walks you through our process and how an employer would begin to proceed to utilize this process. There are 4 ways to begin. An employer can reach out to us through a website that will go live April 1. The website will have the application to participate available. So, and then that will also trigger an email directly to me, and I will forward that to the project liaisons in the field to work with the employer. An employer can also contact an ADOL BSR. A BSR can also make a cold contact. Same thing with the Regional Workforce Council, members of the ACCS Workforce Development Community. As you're out there working with business, you can help initiate this this process. Their programs to this project. Marketing will be available via direct web page, outreach to business and industry. Jindy, we hope your group will lead that effort as far as marketing, getting the word out, speaking to those chambers of commerce, sharing the video that I'm not able to display right now. Also, we will anticipate having print and digital materials for the participant side as well, playing on YouTube, Facebook, social media, to get them excited about our 5 target areas. Now, once an employer has come into awareness of the AWSP, that single BNI rep will collect information from that employer. We do have an application that we've developed that requests basic information, name of the employer, and I'll go through that in a little bit, the location, what are the needs of the employer? This is some of that basic information. Do you need entry level? Do you need employees that have some experience? Are you looking for certified employees? That will help us as we begin to recruit on the participant side. And then the employer also needs to be aware of the requirements of the program. Our OJT part of the program does have a requirement of a $12 minimum. And that minimum is with a $3 contribution by the employer. So we will pay $9 of a $12 wage, and so forth. So the max we'll pay is the $9 for that wage. And then agree to participate in the mental health first aid training. This is the mental health first aid training is going to be provided through the University of Alabama. This is an introductory program first offered to our business community. As many of you are aware, we've had shootings in manufacturing plants. We've had stabbings. Tuscaloosa had one just the other day. Mental health in the workplace is definitely needed. And this will be our way to introduce mental health first aid training to supervisors. Now, we do not anticipate supervisors becoming counselors or therapists by no means, but we would like to help our supervisors understand when someone is going through something and maybe make referrals for and have resources available. As you all know, we do have an opioid crisis, substance abuse. generally results from some other type of mental health crisis going on. So it's good to be aware and just expand our knowledge base of that as well. So those are our two requirements. Once the employer has been introduced to the program, the technical assistance will come in the form of if the provide say you're talking to a business or industry and they don't know what training we might have available. That's when you would call your ACCS rep and say, hey, I'm working with this business, we want to develop some training, we want to see what you have available and what's in the works. Now, this program will have a Ready to Work Plus program. We're going to call it something else, I think. I'm not sure what the name will finally be, but what that will be our career readiness certification, along with targeted industry training in those 5 core areas. And we will have more information on those credentials, on those trainings coming out. Once the application or request to participate has been received, your regional liaisons and your WIOA board representative will review that and make sure that it checks all the boxes that we need for it to meet statutory compliance. And then the 3-member panel will receive that application and review it for ensuring that it is responding to the needs of the region, stabilizing the workforce as a result of the pandemic, and is targeting the needs of your region. Once the employer has been approved, then we can begin the participant recruitment. And this will still need to have the employer involved, of course, because they will be hiring these folks. So we'll need to make sure we understand not only at the business and industry level, but at the participant side, what that employer is looking for in that participant. There may be those certain qualifications, certain work hours that employer is looking for, and we want to make sure that we have that to share with our case managers so that they are able to recruit the correct participants. I don't know what's going on with my thing, but I don't know if y'all can see it on the share screen, but things just keep popping up on my screen. Huh, it's crazy. All right. So in accordance with the grant award, and of course, as a result of the pandemic, the majority of the training will be delivered primarily through distance education. The ACCS is our primary provider of the required technical instruction. Now, the instruction can be provided on site if there is a larger number within one employer needed, and there may be opportunity to make partnership with your area career center to also provide training within their sector or another partner organization. Each one is individual. Each employer's participation is individual, and so we will make every effort to accommodate the training needs. I did say that it was a project that was focused on rural communities and the Alabama Opportunity Zones. As you know, the governor's office got to provide input for the selection of the Alabama Opportunity Zones. So if you're in a metropolitan area, don't think that you're not going to be able to participate or that you're not a priority area. As you see from this map, the priority areas are very much throughout the state, as well as the rurality of Alabama. I feel like we won't have very many employers that wouldn't qualify for this program. There we go. So the targeted participants, as I said earlier, individuals displaced by COVID-19 and with returning to the workforce, helping new workers that have barriers enter the workforce, and then helping those underemployed and low-wage workers transition to better paying, more fulfilling employment. I don't know about y'all, but I've had several friends in various occupations. One was a waitress. You know, when the restaurant shut down, her ability to have that living wage through that job was not there anymore as a result of the pandemic. And so maybe that was the eye-opening moment she needed to seek additional training to go into another field. Not that waiter and waitressing is a bad field at all, but looking for that career sustaining wage for sure. And then our targeted employers are those employers that are needing assistance to avoid layoffs or shutdowns, businesses that are needing to upskill current employees, and businesses seeking to develop new employee talent pipelines. Sadly to say, you know, Alabama has lost over 10,000 people as a result of the pandemic. And while a large number of that is of the age 65 and older, a great number of those were working adults. And our businesses do have shortfalls as a result of deaths and severe illness as a result of the pandemic. So maybe there's an opportunity for upskilling of their current employees and definitely developing those talent pipelines. Let's see. All right. So what is a level one employee? We do have two classifications for participants. As you as businesses are listening to this presentation, since you are our target audience for utilization of the program, we do want it to be employer driven for the participants' benefit. A level one participant is a basic skills deficient individual that is willing to enter into a career technical education and meets WIOA eligibility. Now, we are not going to send you basic skills deficient individuals, but that will help us determine what level of training they will begin in. They will begin in a Ready to Work Plus. Like I said, this will develop their career readiness national certification, and then give them some entry level training for your targeted industry. So if you are in the construction industry, someone that was basic skills deficient can expect to go through a Ready to Work Plus, which would be Ready to Work Construction, and they may learn some basic construction math, how to use a tape measure, some basic safety, those type of basic entry level training. And then of course we'll have the availability to go on to receive additional certifications through our Alabama Community College system. A level two individual is a basic skills proficient individual. This is someone that has been in the workforce, does score at least an 8.9 or higher on the assessment exam. This person is probably just been unemployed. It can also be an incumbent worker if we are upskilling your current workforce. But we would also like for these individuals to be a career technical education concentrator. And so that means that if you are seeking one certification, we'd like for you to consider going on and getting additional certifications and building your pathway. And our career centers and our career coaches out in the field will, of course, be working hand in hand with each of these participants. We anticipate being able to provide wraparound services. And what is a wraparound service? For you in the business community, a wraparound service is a supportive service. Oftentimes we have participants that may have transportation issues. They may have childcare issues. They may be food insecure. They may be medication insecure. And so we have developed the Alabama Human Capital Development Fund. This will provide the necessary supportive service that an individual might need to complete training. Necessary tools, perhaps gas cards, anything that's not available for reimbursement through the Alabama Career Center system. We will have a network of supportive service providers available to hopefully provide any wraparound service needed that allows that individual to complete training. We're excited to announce that as a result of this project, we've developed another project with the Business and Education Alliance. We will be developing an e-directory, which will hopefully allow career coaches, case managers, frontline participant staff, a directory so that they can quickly and easily identify those services in their community that might support an individual. So if I'm looking, say I don't have transportation and you're a case manager, you might be looking, you might hit transportation and find churches that provide ride share, commute smart organizations, maybe a nonprofit's providing Uber cards, who knows? But we will be identifying those community resources, and we're going to do this through our weekend. This is coming this spring and summer. We hope to roll this out again, news to you, and through the Regional Workforce Council. We'd like to help have y'all with your expertise in identifying needs in your region, help us identify those resources that can help the participant. We can, as the Workforce and Education Community Assessment Network. This is a project that will be rolled out in 2 phases. The first phase will be to identify those supportive service providers and education and workforce providers that we currently utilize in the state. And then the second phase will be to help build their capacity so they can do what they do better and more coordinated to serve all the participants. So very excited about that. Look for that coming this spring and summer. All right. Just to catch you up on where we're headed from here, we are in Q2. So we are finalizing the trainings. We will be holding Central Alabama's training next week. We've already conducted 3 of the 7 trainings for the 3-member panels and technical assistance team. We will be ramping up and onboarding employers, hopefully in April. And we'll have a supreme kickoff, and you will spread the word to the business and industry in your area to take advantage of the Alabama Workforce Stabilization Program. Now, before I take questions, I'm going to try to click this one more time and see if it will play. While y'all are thinking of all your great questions that I generated as we, can y'all see that?
Jessica, you're trying to show the video, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
We still see your PowerPoint.
Ah,
Maybe stop sharing it.
yep. There we go. And now I'll share this one.
Sure, I need to hire, and there are a lot of people out there looking for work, but are they ready to work? Alabama Workforce Stabilization Program is designed to help Alabama businesses avoid layoffs and develop talent pipelines. Entry level or new to the workforce participants can get on the job training, and it also helps you keep your best people by providing upskilling through an incumbent worker training program. It even helps cover wages for new and existing employees while training. Don't just hire workers looking to work, hire workers ready to work. For more information on how the Alabama Workforce Stabilization Program can help your business, visit us at alabamaworks.com/AWSP.
Yay! All right, y'all are the first to have witnessed that. So look for that coming soon. All right, that was the end of my presentation. I guess I'll go over here to the chat. Nobody has any questions?
We love the video, Jessica. That was great.
Just
Excited
so
to be
you know,
the
we
first
will
to see.
also have 5 participant videos that will be for each targeted area. Those are in final edit mode right now and will be released shortly, like I said, and I'll share those with you so that you can share with your council.
Will those be done primarily through social media, or will there be any on television? Where will we see those?
The social media, yes, we will be on social media. Thanks to Alabama making the NCAA tournament, we will be in the AL.com sports section. So please go and look for your sports results and click on the video and watch the video. We want to get lots of hits from that. And the longer Alabama's in the tournament, the longer the videos will play. So we want them to go all the way.
Big friend is shaking his head at you.
Hey, this is the only time I'll root for Alabama is to get advertisement for the project.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Any questions for Jessica? I know it's a lot of information to take in, but it is a lot that you have processed through in a short amount of time and been able to organize and organize our state behind this. So we're looking forward to being a part. Yes, question?
I do have a question. I tried to take screenshots of the presentation just so I can familiarize myself with it a little bit more. Because when you got to the point where you were talking about the new funds for concrete support, we call it concrete support, but you were calling it something different. Hold on. You called it wraparound services. The acronym is AHCDF, but we provide that with family resource centers.
Mm-hmm.
That's more like TANF funds for us. So will we be able to access that and use that more with TANF funds, or will we have to resource that with you, or?
Well, that's part of the braided project. We anticipate you utilizing as much of your statutory funds as possible.
Yes.
And then those funds are for the participants' outlay of approved costs that are approved through the WIOA side, eligible costs. I will tell you that I would love to see in a few years us expanding that. And who knows, maybe we can go after some new, not CARES Act money, relief funds. I forget what these are now. Maybe we can go after some more relief funds to build a pot of funds to do that, because we do have our statutory areas. DHR already provides the child care. Adult ed already provides some basic services as well as WIOA. And so we all provide little bits and pieces, which is the beautiful part about the e-directory, is hopefully we'll begin to see all of our pieces, and in those areas where we're duplicating, we can begin to support each other and maybe not replicate each other, but improve other areas.
So if I'm working with a participant and they're also a participant with WIOA, with the Career Center, because we have a participant right now in the same situation, and I use my concrete support to assist the participant. But if the Career Center agent also needs to use their resources, they would have those funding, what you're talking about, to assist them.
Right. And hopefully what we'll do is you can provide your side, and then say this person doesn't have money for gas.
Perfect.
And they buy a gas card, and then they bring in their reimbursement to the Career Center. Now, ours is going to be reimbursable, so the participant is going to have to outlay the money first and then bring in the receipts.
Okay.
But hopefully it will help fill that gap, because, so often, I can get childcare, but I don't have a car.
Yes.
Or I've got a car and I don't have childcare.
That sounds great.
And that's going to take, and that's the beauty of this, and also one of the struggles is going to take very in-depth communication, not just on the employer side, but on that participant side. And y'all already do that very well. We're just trying to create a more finite and help finite those conversations you're already having.
That's great. Great question. And you highlight a good point, Jessica. It's only going to be as good as all of our partnerships, really, truly is. So thank you, Tasha, for that. And I'm excited that we are in conversation with the Family Resource Centers already. And, it's very good, very good.
Well, I like to use the analogy, since we are a car manufacturing state, DHR, you might be the tires, Regional Workforce Council, you might be the gas, WIOA might be the engine. Singularly, we're going nowhere. But if you start putting all these pieces together, then you can go wherever you want to in the car. But you've got to have all of those components.
That's great. Any other questions for Jessica? Well, Jessica, thank you so much. I'm sure that we'll be talking to you more going down the road, that's for sure. But if you have questions, feel free to reach out to Jessica or to us, and we'll try to get them answered for you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And I'll send you the presentation, Jindy, so you can send it out.
Great. Great. We always do recap our meetings, and we'll send out, we record them as well. So we'll be sending this out if you know of someone who could benefit from learning more about AWSP or AllSnap, as I'm now going to call it from this point on, then we will be glad to get it to them. All right. Well, to wrap up, I've got 7 minutes to keep you under an hour, but I do want to share a few thoughts about career discovery. I know we've talked about it. We have updated you at various times. Hang on and we'll get you going. Okay.
I'm not there yet.
Oh, not quite there yet. Hang on. That's not what they're saying. Often you'll hear me talk, when I talk about workforce, I often talk about short-term and long-term needs, because really you can't talk about workforce without addressing the two sides of it. Career discovery to me is an opportunity for our entire region to come together to help forge pathways for our students. It is a long-term approach. Are we good? Sorry for the technical difficulties. Do you want me to ask if someone can see it?
Yeah.
Can someone unmute and tell us if you see the career discovery PowerPoint?
I see it.
Great. All right. Well, then we'll plug on. And if you're seeing my notes, then I'm sorry. But as you know, we have held career discovery in the past. It began at Auburn University years ago, and it's been at Southern Union for about the past 5 years, as well as Trenum for the past 2. This year, we are moving to a virtual platform that will be accessible by all students without the challenge of transportation and all the logistics that go into it. Central Alabama Works is going to own this platform, and we will be able to build on it in the future, even when we return to the in-person event. Next one. Can you hit the down arrow?
You can see your notes. I don't know how you get out of that version of the slideshow.
So sorry.
Normal slideshow.
Bear with us. There we go. All right, we hope you're on the second one now. And previously, when I said that career discovery was an opportunity for the region to come together, I mean all of these people.
I don't think I'm sharing much.
Sorry that we continue to have issues. Jessica,
I'm just
will you-
glad it wasn't just me.
Yeah, will you tell us what you're seeing now, since we can't tell? Jessica, what do you
Just
see?
you.
Nothing but the group,
Just us.
individuals.
Yeah, it's not sharing.
All right, it's not sharing.
There it is.
There it is.
Yay. All right. Now let's see. Okay. You with me now? All right, great. So career discovery is an opportunity for the region to come together, and that means all of these people listed here, parents and students. We really hope to get parents involved in this virtual platform, and as well as all the parents, as Jessica referred to, ones that have, maybe been laid off and are looking for a career change at this point. The employers, for them, they have a touch point to engage with the students, and participating businesses have also been asked if they're willing to serve as a speaker to a class or to offer a tour. It gives them kind of that first point if they're not engaged with education at this point. And then for educators, we made it very clear at the beginning of, way more than a year ago, that we did not want to add anything to their plate. We knew that COVID was taking up every waking moment. And so we wanted to offer resources to our educators, and not anything more to do on their checklist. Some of our, like as I said, prior to COVID, we were already updating our website. And during COVID, we spent a lot of time revamping our resources page. We've talked about success stories, and as I said, Sabrina made that happen. Our resources page now includes stories of young people who are in their first jobs and talk about what influenced their decisions and that type of thing. We recently shared what we call phase 1 of career discovery with our educators, which was introduced by a hype video, as you see here. And this video was produced by Auburn High School's advanced television class. We were thrilled to have them be a part of that and help us roll out these resources for our phase 1. Now, as we enter into what we are calling phase 2, this will be our newest addition to the website. It is called the Top 5 in 5. It is an interactive guide that highlights our top industries and features student success stories as well. Again, we will be sharing this resource with our educators in hopes that they will use it as an intro to our career discovery virtual platform. All of this leads up to the final phase, which is the launch of our virtual platform on April 19th. I shared this at a previous ATC meeting as far as a sneak peek. This is a mock-up of an early version of the platform. There will be a welcome video and then the 10 worlds that students can explore. It'll provide a fun, informative, and gamified, I'm not really sure which way you say that, meaning game-like interactive pathway experience via the virtual platform. This next slide kind of shows you a little more in depth of what it will mean for an employer who is engaging in it. We've invited these industry partners to sponsor and share video content, logos, website links that the students will view as they explore each of our 10 worlds. Students will have the opportunity to explore careers in that field, employers in our region, and the education needed for specific jobs. We're so appreciative of those who have sponsored this year and provided content. We realize that it's been a very difficult year for many of our businesses, but they have stepped in with videos about their company or careers within their industry. And I want to thank our awesome community colleges. To date, we have support of this platform from every one of our community colleges in our region. So very big thank you to all of them. This slide highlights some of the outreach or accessibility features of a virtual platform, and I'm going to call this making lemonade from lemons. Not only can we be in front of 8,000 eighth graders, we also have the opportunity to share it with seniors as well at hiring events or post-secondary training events. Additionally, we will be printing a student guide that will hopefully make its way home with the student. The link to the platform will be printed on the back of that guide. And our hope is that the students will so enjoy the virtual platform that they will want to go home, show their parents, where they explored, what they found and what they're interested in. And then maybe the parent can use that as well for a jumping off point for a new career or upskilling within their career. Finally, we want to give a special shout out to our 3 title sponsors, Alabama Power, Trinidad State Community College, and Go Build, have all made significant contributions to make this platform happen this year. I hope that you can see through this very brief, what I've thrown at you, that we're trying to form a very cohesive process of career exploration and pathway building, that it builds up to and into a program and not just a one-time event. And finally, I'll end with this slide. While we've tried to make it as easy as possible for our educators this year, we also want to make it as easy as possible for business and industry to connect with education. As I said before, we travel and meet with various businesses throughout our region, and we like to show them the opportunities to get engaged. Of course, we want to meet with them to address their challenges, but we also want to engage them with students and educators and others that can help them form the workforce that they want to be able to hire from. So that's just kind of how we would lay out these resources to our businesses and invite them to come alongside of us, as speakers or providing tours, mock interviews. We want to make it easy and want to be able to be the liaison for them to the education world. So anytime anyone on the call, if you desire to do that, please pick up the phone and call us. So with that, I think that's it for today. I hope that you've learned something new. There was a lot of information thrown at you. And as always, if there are subjects that you would like us to cover or to delve into, please reach out and let us know. We can only be as good as the information you provide, and we want to hear from our businesses and know the challenges you're facing or the successes of, certain areas that we can share with others. So I appreciate all of you and the work that you do in Region 5. At this time, though, I'd like to invite Jennifer Lohman, if she's on, if she would like to say a few words. I know we missed you early in the meeting, Jennifer, but we would love to hear from you now. Is she on? I can't see any faces now, so. Can you hear us, Jennifer?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we got you. Yay.
Okay, great. Yay. I was stating I apologize. I got my times mixed up, obviously. I thought it was at 3 my time. Nevertheless, I'm here. I said, well, let me sign on early and see. And there you guys were having a meeting. So I want to say to Jessica, thank you so much. It was very informative. I enjoyed the parts that I did here. And looking forward to working with everyone and working together and doing more. No, I can't hear you, Jindy.
Oh, Jennifer, I forgot to remind our council, if you are a council member for Region 5, we had several call-in users today. If you could sign into the chat, that would be very helpful to let us know that you were in attendance today and we can count that attendance. Send an email. They called in, they can do chat. Or if you called in, you cannot do chat. So please send me an email. That is very good. Thank you, Sabrina, for that. I'm thinking on my feet today. Yes, if you will email me or text me and just let me know that you were in fact in the meeting. I appreciate it. So back to you, Jennifer.
Okay,
I'll
great.
let you close us out.
All righty. So guys, again, like I said, thank you so much. And let us all continue to lift Cleve up, Poole, his health and his well-being. And with that said, if there's not anything else, then all minds and hearts are clear. The meeting adjourned. Can you hear me?